Pedagogical approaches and outcome-based curriculum framework in physical education. So the faculty development program is organized to promote physical education after this lockdown COVID-19. So what is physical education? What is physical education program? What are the qualities of physical education program that we are going to see in this lecture for around 1 hour 15 minutes. So what is quality physical education? So quality physical education program focuses on increasing physical competency, health-related fitness, self-responsibility, and enjoyment of physical activity for all students so that they can be physically active for a lifetime. I repeat, by the physical education program, the students can be physically active for a lifetime, not for achieving a Form 3 or Form 2 or anything, but they must be physically fit and active throughout the life. So that is the aim of physical education program with quality. So we are focusing ourselves towards the quality physical education for which there are so many avenues, there are so many methods to give the quality physical education. So in which the one of the approach is pedagogy. So we can have the pedagogical approaches in physical education so that we can bring the quality physical education program for the modern day student. So what is pedagogy? Can you see the picture? There are two boys and one more boy. The boy in white dress is called as the pious, a paid boy, and agogus, guide. In the ancient Greece, there were so many rich peoples. They had many servants, one of whom shall be specifically tasked to look after the children, especially to escort the children to the school of education. They will take the students, the Greek students, to the educational places. From that word only the pedagogy term came. So the ancient roots are found out the term pedagogy, by which we mean it is towards education. It's a guide towards education. So the etymological meaning is the guide towards education. From the practice of ancient Greece, we got it. Nowadays, in the modern science, it says the pedagogy means art and science of teaching. How we can make the teaching involved, how we can make the teaching very useful for the student, that is called as pedagogy. To convey the knowledge and skills in the way the students can understand, remember, and apply. So the beneficiaries are the students. They must be understand your teaching. They must recall and remember your teaching. And whenever, wherever required, they can able to apply the knowledge they gained through the teaching. So for that, so many pedagogical methods are derived. So that we are going to see. So the pedagogical skill of a teacher is in two parts. One is the classroom management skills. The another one is content related skills. So the teacher must be able to manage his class. At the same time, he must be in the position to deliver the content, deliver the knowledge in a fruitful manner. So that is what the pedagogy is taking a place to in the field of physical education. So whenever we are going for the teaching learning process, we must be concentrating on the three domains. One is the cognitive domain, the affective domain, and psychomotor domain. The psychomotor domain deals with these skills. So we are, as the physical education professionals, we are concentrating on psychomotor domain, where we are directly involving, we are directly developing the psychomotor domain by our quality physical education program. At the same time, we are developing the affective domain and cognitive domain in an indirect manner. But 100% we are concentrating on psychomotor domain, which is basis and which is everything for the other domains. So the other domains can also be developed by quality physical education programs. So when we are going for the teaching, there are three levels of teaching. One is memory level teaching, understanding level teaching, and reflective level teaching. So what is memory level teaching? What is understanding level teaching? And what is a reflective level teaching? We will see one by one. First one is memory level teaching. The founder of this memory level teaching is Johann Friedrich Herbert, who is the founder of the memory level teaching, who stressed upon the initial stage of learning must be on memory based. So we are able to teach them the words, the numbers by which they can memorize. So here the concentration, the focus is on rate of memorization of facts and bytes. It is based on the stimulus response theory. It is based on the Pavlov's classical conditioning theory. We might have studied in the learning theories, the Pavlov's classical conditioning theory, which is the base for the memory level of teaching. Here, you can teach them and evaluate them by oral questions, by written questions, and sometimes essay type examination also. Here, the main focus is on the speed of learning, how fast the student is learning, the stability of retention, how he is able to retain the information, and the speed of recalling, how he can able to recall the facts, the numbers, the figures. Then ability to bring only desirable contents to the conscious level. So wherever it is required, the desirable contents, suppose the student may have some undesirable experiences. So he must overcome that undesirable experiences and he has to bring out the desirable content to the conscious level. That is the concentration of memory level teaching. The next one is the understanding level of teaching, to make you to be a master. So you know who is master and what is the master film deals with. Okay, so the founder of understanding level of teaching is Morrison. The proponent of the understanding level of teaching, Morrison, he stressed upon the memory, not only the memory, you have to go for insight. The memory plus insight takes the place. So here, the system of learning should be from the beginner, intermediate, novice, competent, deeper experience, expert, then only you can become a master. So the system must be evaluated both through essay and objective type of question. So the second level is understanding level of teaching. The third one is reflective level of teaching. The student must be able to reflect. The founder of this method is Hunt. So he has proposed this method to solve the problems. How we can solve the problem? First, you have to define the problem, then generate new ideas, then evaluate the selected solutions, then implement and evaluate to solve the problem. So here the teaching is around this problem solving. Here the teacher takes the secondary place, whereas the student is given the important place. The primary place is taken by the student to solve the problem in the reflective level of teaching. So here you can have the essay type questions at the same time. Your aptitude, your attitude, your belief can also be tested through the multiple choice questions. Say, for example, the University Grants Commission and the state authorities are conducting NET and SET examination, where they will check your aptitude level, attitude level, and your belief towards teaching and research. It is based on the reflective level of teaching. So as a teacher, you have to teach based on the age of the children. There's three methods, whether memory level or understanding level or reflective level. So for the graduate students, postgraduate students, we have to concentrate on the reflective level of teaching. National Education Policy. The new National Education Policy 2020 had major changes. Why this change? Say, for example, in the school system, previously we had 10+2. Now they are going to change. First 2 years, the class 1 and 2 for the age of 6 to 8. Second, the class 3 to 5. for age of 8 to 11. Then third stage, age of 11 to 14. Then fourth stage, the age of 9 to 12. Why this change? What is the curriculum they are going to change? There is no major change in the curriculum. But what is the change they have insisted upon? The change is on the pedagogical method. The method of teaching, they are going to change. They are going to change the method of teaching. What they are going to change? Say, for example, the foundation stage, the last stage, or the first stage, which is shown in the pink color, the violet color. Okay, the first 2 years, the method of teaching, the pedagogy is multi-level play-based activities. They are going to teach all the concept, whether a mathematical concept or language concept, they are going to use the play or activity-based learning. The second stage, play, discovery activities, and the interactive classroom learning. The third stage, they are going for experiential learning in science, math, art sciences, and humanities. So based on experience. Then multidisciplinary studies, critical thinking, flexibility in the choice of subjects, they are going to introduce. So these are the 4 stages they are going to change in the new educational policy, the national educational policy, based on the need of the modern pedagogy. The new education policy is focusing on one of the important teaching method called as the experiential learning. What are the benefits of experiential learning? How we can give the experiential learning for the students? The experiential learning will be adopted, including hands-on learning, arts integrated, sports integrated education, storytelling based on pedagogy, learning center methods, discussion based method, flexible and enjoyable method they are going to introduce. Standard method of teaching within each subject. At the same time, there will be exploration of the relationship among other subjects. Each and every subject will be had. They are going to show the relationship, how the chemistry is related to exercise physiology, how yoga is related to psychology. In that way, they are going to relate each and everything by experiential learning. Then they are concentrating on sports integration. They are going to integrate the sports in all aspects of learning. No students is going to eliminate from sports. They will be given exposure, that they are calling it as a cross-curricular pedagogical approach that going to use the physical activities, including indigenous sports. Say, for example, Malcolm, yoga, all indigenous sports they are going to use to develop collaboration, self-initiative, self-direction, self-discipline, teamwork, responsibility, and citizenship. To make them fit, active, and healthy, they are going to introduce Fit India movement for all the students to make the fitness as a lifelong habit. They are going to make it as a lifelong attitude for every student that we are going to develop through this national education policy. Then, what are the benefits of the pedagogy, the method of teaching? The new education policy is going to reward each teacher if they are good in their new methodology, by which there is an increase in the learning among students. So the government is going to introduce some of the awards for teachers, those who are going to introduce the new method of teaching, by which the students are benefited. So you are teaching basketball the same way, or you are teaching the cricket the same way, you are teaching the free hand exercise the same order which was taught to us, or which was taught to our previous ancient days. But you have to adopt the new method of teaching. For the new method of teaching, the national education policy is going to honor the teacher who is going to have the new method of teaching. At the same time, it gives the autonomy for teacher. It gives the autonomy, freedom for teacher to choose their own method of teaching. Not only the same method, monotonous method. There is no monotonous method. They are going to give the new method of teaching, the freedom for the teacher to select the new method of teaching so that they can make the students active in the classrooms. So now I hope you are able to understand the importance of pedagogy from the historical aspect and from the national educational policy aspect. Now we will see some of the pedagogical strategies. So what are the modern strategies and what are the strategies applicable for the field of physical education that we are going to see? So what are the methods? What are the different styles of teaching we can give to the students of this modern stage? We can see one by one now. So these are some of the pedagogy strategies which is applicable for this modern stage. Interactive lectures, assessments, using investigative cases, teaching case methods, using media to enhance teaching and learning, lecture tutorials, just-in-time teaching, strong institute-industry interaction, peer review. So these are some of the few important strategies that I am going to explain to you all. The first one is interactive lectures. So instead of giving the lecture, the one way of lecture, the teachers of this modern stage are asked to go for interactive lectures. What is interactive lecture? It is an easy way to intellectually engage and involve students as active participants in the lecture-based classes. Not only one way of teaching, you have to make the students involved in your lecture. How? There are three important methods of interactive lecture. One is the think, pair, share method, demonstration method, then role-playing method. So what is think, pair, share? Here, the concept is given to the student, a particular student, an individual student. Say, for example, Rajesh Kumar, you think about this concept and tell. Then after some time, I will add Rajesh Kumar and Jay Kumar sir to think together, pair. The ideas of two will come and they will be asked to share the classroom. So student Jay Kumar and student Rajesh Kumar will come and share the ideas so that they will be interactive, they will be active in the class. So this is called as the think, pair and share method. Then demonstration. So various methods of demonstration you can use it. Whether mirror method or imitation method, any method you can use it for demonstration so that the students can actively participate. If you are standing still without doing any exercise, then students will not involve. So you are making ourselves to demonstrate and the students will do it. Then role playing. So you can take role and you can give different roles to students so that they can involve the lecture. So you can give an incident where you can give role for particular student, particular teacher. So they can play as a role, their role, then execute their role. Say, for example, you are teaching the history of physical education, right? In which you can give the role of the founder of physical education, the founder of YMCA College of Physical Education, the founder of such and such an event. So they have to read and they have to act like their roles. By acting, they can understand the concept. So in that way, you can include the interactive lectures. What are the benefits of interactive lecture? Active engagement, and there is an increase in the value and of each and every lecture segment. So you can include your lectures through the interactive lecture than the monotonous single way of lecturing. The second one is assessment. Assessment also can be considered as one of the method of teaching nowadays. Provides the educator the better understanding of what the students are learning and engages students more deeply in the process of learning. So what their students are able to understand, what are their knowledge, what are their need, that you can understand through assessment, then you can teach. So assessment is the process of observing and measuring the learning. So how the learning happened, what is the level of understanding of the student, you can assess. When you are going for assessment, there are two methods of assessment. One is subjective, another one is objective. Which is best? Most of the time, the objective measurement, the objective assessment is best. When you are having the sophisticated equipment, the standardized testing procedure, it is always best. You can go for objective method of teaching. When there is no method of standardized testing procedure, standardized equipment is available, then you can go for subjective method of teaching. So based on assessment, you can frame your teaching methodology. Then using investigative cases. So in the classroom, you can have the investigative method of case solving the method. What are they? In which there are three phases. One is problem posing, analyzing a case. Second one is problem solving, investigating the question. Problem 3, peer persuasion or supporting methods and reasoning. By this method, you can teach the students how. Say, for example, as a teacher, you are going to teach the athletic heart. You can show the method, the model of athletic heart and normal heart, and ask the student why the athletic heart of the heart of the athlete is bigger in size. Why the function of athletic heart is more efficient than the normal student. You can pose the question to your students. Then give the time for your students to come out of the answers. Okay, they can, by their imagination, by their experience, they can give some information to you. Then you can give your own experience and mix up the learning. The scientific supports you can share. Say, for example, why this athletic heart is increased in size. Especially the chamber of left ventricle is increased in size because of the continuous exercise, especially the endurance type of exercise, aerobic type of exercise will increase this chamber, the left chamber size, left ventricle size in a bigger manner than the normal heart. See the picture. See the roll mark of the 10 centimeter. Okay, the mark of 10 will show how it is bigger in size than the normal heart. Right. So the teacher has experimented with a 23 years old boy, and he has measured the normal heart is 15 into 12 centimeter, whereas the athlete heart is 25 into 18 centimeter. In that way, you can show the reasoning to the student, and it will be beneficial for the students' learning. So this method is called as investigative cases method. Another one is teaching with case method. You can teach with case by case. The individual can be given the problem, a discussion, and then he will think and he will explain this in a small group. There he will get some ideas. The same ideas and his own ideas can be mixed together, and in the classroom he will count. So in that way also you can teach. So the student will be given opportunity to walk around the problem to get the solution. So this method is called the teaching by case methods. Then using media to enhance teaching and learning. So due to COVID-19, we are able to understand the role of e-learning and media. Every teacher, whether he like or not, is forced to use all the e-learning material. So the media is we are going to use. So teacher can engage students and produce more meaningful and deep learning experiences by using films, television, popular music, news stories, sports films, documentaries, and videos from YouTube and other media sources. So it is now it is the compulsory due to this lockdown period. We are using so many media. The same can be used during our lecture in the classroom also. So many films are available. So many documentaries are available to teach the historical concept that can be given to the students so that they can learn better. Then lecture tutorials. You can go for the lecture tutorials by which you can prepare after your teaching. You can prepare a worksheet carefully so that the students can be given to think about what they have learned. They will be given time to answer the questions in the worksheets, by which you can understand whether the students is able to understand your concept or not. Lecture tutorials are beneficial. They are easy to incorporate to make a class more interactive. Students can learn from more lecture tutorials than the lecture alone. So a single way of lecture, only your way of lecture is not enough. You can add the other way of lecture also. So by giving the lecture tutorial, by giving the worksheets, you can add, you can enhance the learning. So students can enjoy using lecture tutorial, right? Say for example, can you see the picture? This is a lecture tutorial given by my friend, my brother, Dr. D. Manialagu, when he was a lecturer at YMCA College of Physical Education. In YMCA College of Physical Education, in BPED, there were 160 students. The students will be classified into 8 rotations, 8 shifts. They will come for 15 days for each and every game. Sir will teach all the skills and the rules and regulations of all the football within 15 days, and at the end of 15th day he will give this lecture tutorial to each and every student by his handwritten, by xeroxing material. That plays a very value in among the students, and which was an example for lecture tutorial. Based on this, he will give worksheet also to assess the qualities of learning. So such a wonderful lecture tutorial. In those days itself, he was used by handwritten. Now we are having more knowledge in computer, and we can make the lecture tutorials in the computerized manner, and we can give to the students, so that there will be a real learning takes place. Even it can be a practical or theory subject. So in this occasion, I thank my brother Dr. Manialagu for giving the copy of his lecture material. Next one is just-in-time teaching method. It is called as short form JIT method. JIT method is called as the just-in-time teaching method. What is that? It takes you to the out of class and in class. It is connecting out of class hours and in class learning. How? So before the class, the teacher will pose some of the questions to the students, to whatever the media available. It can be nowadays, it can be the WhatsApp group, it can be Google Classroom, or it can be email. You can email some of the questions to the students, and the student has to answer all the questions. The teacher has to evaluate all the questions. From that, the teacher can understand what their students are able to understand, what are the knowledge they have or possess already, what is their need. Based on their understanding, the teacher can develop his own methodology for the student to handle in the classroom situation. So already he is assessing the student's level, and based on the level of student, he can teach with a new methodology. If they know some of the basic concepts, then he can go for the advanced concept. If they don't know even the basic concept, what is the use of teaching advanced concepts? So he has to develop the method of teaching based on the assessment through the JIT method. Next one is strong institute in the industry cooperation. So every institution, whether the teaching institution or engineering institution or medical institution, it depends on the industries and companies, the institutions, the teaching institution, the schools, colleges. We are depending on that. What is their demand? What is their need? Based on that, we have to teach. So various certificate course in collaboration with local industries, local schools, local colleges, and alumni, etc., can be introduced, so that we will have a better industry and institute collaboration to make the students learn a meaningful thing, so that they can serve better in the school or college, wherever they are going. So instead of studying the olden methods, you can see what is their requirement. Say my school students require the aerobic kind of teaching for every students. All the students of our school must be exposed to the aerobic dance. Then they have to offer an additional certificate course, a value-added course in aerobic teaching, so that then can be added. For that, you need the strong institute industry cooperation, by which you can understand the need of the student and you can develop your teaching methods. Then peer review. The peer review is evaluation work by one or more people with similar capacities, similar competencies. So the work of the student is evaluated by the student itself, by the classmates itself. Peer observation, peer review, and peer evaluation are the part of this method. Based on this concept, the Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University, especially the Department of Physical Education, has introduced peer group teaching and discussion in physical education subjects. The same way, Global Sports Development, Los Angeles, they have introduced a mentor system called as peer-to-peer mentorships in sports. Especially for sports, they are having a mentorship by the peer-to-peer. The teammate can mentor, they can teach, they can coach, they can give counseling. So the peer review is the modern concept that we can introduce in all the colleges and schools, that we have introduced in the Department of Physical Education, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, through the approved Board of Studies Academic Council and Syndicate from the year 2018-19 onwards. So such a wonderful method of teaching is useful for the student to learn from their peer. What is this? All kind of method of teaching you are going to use, but nowadays the digital, the computerized teaching is the need of the hour. No one can be escaped from this, including myself, and others are the digital migrants, whereas nowadays students are the digital natives. So we have to equip ourselves to face the digital natives. Otherwise, we will be fail in teaching. We cannot say I don't know computer. We cannot say I cannot be able to make the video calls. But it is the need of the hour. As a migrant, though we are migrants, though we are learners in computers and other technology, we have to equip ourselves to face the digital natives, the students of this modern day. So it is a big challenge for all the teachers to face the digital natives, the modern day students. So you must ready to learn and teach through the digital method also. Dear participants, I'm going to give a caution for you all that nowadays there is new concept. A worst concept is going on throughout the many places in our country, that is don't play the school of thought. It is very alarming. There is a report given in the Indian Express. So many schools are not allowing the students to play. The entire health of the country will going to be affected. See, the COVID-19 we are able to sustain. It is because of the immunity level of the Indians, the fitness level. Whereas when you are taking the US, they are good in all aspects, but the immunity level they are poor. Every one American is the 4 counts of the COVID-19 death. Among 5 infected persons, there will be 1 American. But we are not like that. But it is because of our immunity level, our food habits, and our indigenous playing method. So be alert to inculcate the physical education as a lifetime attitude, fitness exercise as a lifetime habit for all our students, so that no one can stop the physical education and sports in these schools. So my dear participants, it is our role to make the physical fitness, physical education and sports as a compulsory and lifetime attitude for every student. Now we'll move on to the outcome-based education. What is outcome-based education? See the picture, you can understand. So input, process, output, that is called as outcome. Say for example, when you are going for physical education classes, the readiness of student is called as input. The student must be ready. Then the process can be given by the systematic and scientific physical education classes. Then the output can be shown by their achievements. What is the outcome? It's a joy, happiness, health, enjoyment in the life. So, as a physical education teacher, the outcome-based education will make you to give the right input, right process and output so that you will get the enjoyable outcome through this outcome-based education. So OBE, the outcome-based education, is an organizational structure. It is based on the management principle. It is around activities rather than it is on some of the principles or some of the methods. It is around activities to lead the students to proficiency. So the OBE is consist of your plan, doing and checking your plan, whether the plan is right. If it is wrong, you can modify it. Then act again. So in that way, the outcome-based education is developed for the modern students for better learning. So what are the principles of outcome-based education? There are three principles. One is student-centered, clarity and flexibility. By student-centered, you can improve the mastery of skills, mastery of behavior and mastery of knowledge. So the students can become master in their skills, master in behavior, master in their knowledge. And this system will focus on clarity. What is the objective of this class? What is the objective of learning methods in physical education? What's the objective of studying fitness and wellness? So it will give the clarity at the beginning itself. Then it will have the flexibility based on the learner's strength and weakness. It will teach based on the learners, the students' strength and weakness. So the flexibility given in the OBE is highly appreciated by all the educational peoples. The University Grants Commission has introduced learning outcome based framework for the year 2021 in all the subjects, including physical education. So far, University Grants Commission is given different methods of syllabus, but this is the first time the University Grants Commission has given the right syllabus called as the outcome-based learning framework, LOCF 2021. It's a UGC initiative to improve quality in the higher education, quality in physical education. So they are defining curriculum design as a planned, purposeful, progressive and systematic process to create positive improvement in higher education. So there will be improvement, but the improvement must be positive. So the positive improvement can be possible through learning outcome-based education curriculum. I'm happy to say that one of our professional friend, Dr. Balasubramaniam from Alapa University, is a member of the UGC committee to develop this framework. So that I am going to explain to you all. What is the new learning framework for the physical education? Now we are going to see. So the LOCF 2021 is focusing on the graduates must learn what they are supposed to learn. I'm an engineering graduate, but I don't know engineering. I'm a computer science graduate, but I don't know computer. This is a present day scenario. I am a physical education student, but I don't know what is physical education. This is the present situation. But the UGC has insisted the graduate must understand what is the outcome of the study, what is the outcome of their program. Besides this, it will make the student, the learner, to face the 21st century skills, the critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning, cognitive self, Self-directed learning. Say, for example, this 21st century, there will be a competition between man and machine. There will be a competition between man and machine. There will be a competition between unskilled and skilled person. So if you want to fight, if you want to compete and sustain, you must be with the higher order of learning. You must critically think, problem solving, analytical reasoning, cognitive skills must you have, because machines are going to compete with us. There is a huge development in the artificial intelligence. So most of our work can be done by the computers and the robots. To face that competition, you must be very cautious and you must be skillful. So this learning curriculum based, the outcome based curriculum will make you to face the 21st century skills. So in physical education, it is having a both the values of the carryover values. So outcome of this physical education is instant. So what immediate, you can get the benefits immediate. At the same time, you'll have a strong carryover values in their life. It maintains the standard and uniformity in physical education degrees across the country. What is the uniformity? It stresses uniformity in learning, uniformity in teaching, uniformity in assessment. So throughout the country, there will be a method, same method of learning, same method of teaching, same method of assessment. It also allows the flexibility and innovation in each and every program design. The scope of physical education is very broad. So nowadays, the scope of physical education is considered as an alternate medicine, prophylactic medicine. Right? You can read that. Physical exercise can replace many medicines, but no medicine in the world can replace exercise. So as a physical education, you must insist this concept to all the students, all the parents. Physical exercise can replace many medicines, but no medicine in the world can replace exercise. So ask them to go for regular physical activity so that you can develop a better, healthy, fit India. The overall aim of the proposed learning outcome-based curriculum framework is to attainment and refinement of motor skills. So the motor skill, movement skill, can be attained and refined. Then scientific knowledge of body responds to various types of exercises. How our body is responding to various types of exercise. The scientific explanation. The maintenance of fitness for optimal health and well-being. Attainment of knowledge and growth of positive attitude towards physical activity and sports. So there must be a positive attitude towards the physical exercise and the sports. So it will increase the motivation. It will activate the participant to engage and participate in physical education and sports activities, so that there will be a higher, there will be an increased achievement. So that is the focus of this LOCF. What are the characteristics and attributes of the new proposed curriculum? The first one is disciplinary knowledge. Okay, so how we can impose on the disciplinary knowledge? There are three domains. One is the domain structure, the set of guiding rules, and history. Definitely, our field of physical education is having these three structures so that we can give the domain disciplinary knowledge. Even you can understand what is self-discipline. Is the magic power that makes you are virtually unstoppable. So no one can stop if you are self-disciplined. The physical education program will insist upon the self-discipline. Skilled communicator. You can be a better and a skilled communicator by learning this new curriculum. So it will teach you to how to communicate with others, how to communicate, how to use the PowerPoint, how to prepare the reports, how to prepare the sports day reports, how to prepare the workshop report, everything it will teach you. Interpersonal communication, how you can address to the parents, how you can address with the other coach, how you can address with the other students, the diverse population, the different peoples can be addressed, how you can address. So it will make, the new curriculum will make the learner a skilled communicator, and it will be able to use ICT methods, the information communication technology, for different learning situation. What are the things you can use? That suitable ICT can be included in the teaching also. Then it will make you to critical thinker and problem solver. What is critical thinking? It's a mental process of actively and skillfully frame concepts, applying, analyzing, and synthesizing and evaluating information to reach an answer or conclusion. So the critical thinking habit can be introduced to the students. Then problem solving is the result of critical thinking. So if you have critical thinking, you are able to solve the problem. It involves discovering and analyzing the problem. So you have to identify and analyze the problem, then finding the goal, best possible solution, the best way to solve the problem or to overcome the problem. So you can solve or you can overcome the obstacle by this proposed curriculum. The reasoning, evaluating, problem solving, decision making, analyzing is a cycle. This cycle will be taught to the students by experiential learning. So it was proposed by the new University Grants Commission curriculum for BSc Honors in Physical Education, BSc Physical Education, and BPS degrees. Sense of inquiry. So ability for asking relevant, appropriate questions relating to the issues and problem in the field of physical education, fitness and rehabilitation. So how you can develop the sense of inquiry? First, you have to turn in towards the problem. Make the student to show what are the health problems, what are the fitness problem. You have to turn them towards that. Then finding out the solution. What are the possible solution you can find out. Then sort out what are the best methods of solving the thing. Then go further for processing it, analyzing it in scientific way, analyzing with the consultation of experts, then drawing conclusion and reflecting and acting. See the picture? What is that? He's throwing something in the dustbin. So unwanted things can be thrown in the dustbin. Don't carry it in your mind or your heart. So reflection should be in a positive manner. So throw it out in the dustbin, the unwanted things, and you focus on positive physical education. Then it develops the leadership. So the modern concept of leadership is changed now. So the new curriculum will focus on developing the appropriate leadership capacities among the students. So what are the types of different leadership? Type 1, managerial leader, relational leader, motivational leader, inspirational leader, and transformational leader. Nowadays, the transformational leaders are required now because the work of each and every institution is going to be decentralized than the not from the old traditional, the centralized leadership. Now we are going to have decentralized leadership. So everyone is going to have their role in the curriculum design or in the school management or in the management of physical education concept. For that, you need transformational leadership. For that, the curriculum is focusing you to make different leadership capabilities so that you can be a transformational leader to make the institution or to make the curriculum a functional one by your leadership qualities. Then skilled manager. So we are going for the managing the different events. Your training program you have to manage, your coaching program you have to manage, your classroom you have to manage. For that, the University's Grants Commission is insisting on the skilled managerial skills. What are they? Planning, controlling, leading, and organizing. So at the beginning, you must be able to plan your program, then control. So what are the factors will influence? What are the unwanted factor will influence? How to control? Then take the lead up role, lead, organize, so that you can become a skilled manager. So you can be a skilled manager in developing coaching camps, in organizing leadership training. So for that, you must be a skilled manager. This curriculum will make you to be a skilled manager. Digitally literate. As I already told, you must be ICT enabled teacher. You must be, you are going to face the natives of the digital era. Though you are a migrants of digital era, you are going to face the natives of digital, so that you must digitally literate. You must be able to operate computers and databases. You must be in a position to use the modern e-library sources, how to retrieve, collect the information world around. Even today, the International Athletic Federation, called as the World Athletics, has given each and every methods of teaching the athletics. The International Federation has given in their own website. You must be in a position to download that, and you have to read, and you can give the international level of teaching in your school itself. For that, you need digital literacy. So what is digital literacy? It includes critical thinking, online safety skills. So you must be safe enough, because there will be so many cookies, there will be so many intruders in the online. You must be having the knowledge of safety skills. Digital culture, how we are demanding some of the our family culture, country culture, same way you have to have the digital culture. Don't show or don't post unwanted things in the your media. What is the main group meant for? You post only the matter related to the group. Don't post whatever you have. So you must have a digital culture, collaborative and creative. So to use the digital literature, you must be collaboration. You must have a collaboration and creativity. Then finding information. You must be able to find information from the sources where it is available. So as a teacher, when you are going to teach Olympic movement, you must be in a position to get the information from the official Olympic authorities. There is a official website for the International Olympic Association, the International Olympic Committee. From that, you can get the information and you can use it. Then the communication and netiquette. Netiquette means the decency, the do's and don'ts in the internet, in the digital area. Then functional skills. You must have a functional skills. As a teacher, you are going to face the digital world. So you must be digitally literate. That this new curriculum will make the students to be digitally literate. Then ethical awareness. So ethics, what is ethics? It is involves your moral qualities, your honesty, your right, your fairness, your responsibility, your conscience, your choice, your honor and values. So in that way, this curriculum will teach the values of ethics to each and every student, so that you can promote sports for the development of all-round personality of the participant, not only achievement, not only medal in international or national arena using the some unwanted, unfair method, drug abuse. So this ethical culture will teach you the fair play. It will promote the fair play. It will avoid the unethical behaviors. It will enhance, it will increase the fair play. Then lifelong learner. This curriculum will make each and every student a lifelong learner. Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, has quoted, "I am also defined by my curiosity, thirst of learning. I buy more books than I can finish. I sign up for more online courses than I can complete. I fundamentally believe that if you are not learning new things, you stop doing great and useful things." As a teacher, as a physical education professional. You must do great and useful thing. For that, you must be a lifelong learner. Sorry, you are a physical education teacher. We are attending physical education professional. Why you are quoting Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO? He is an outstanding player. He's the fittest person in the computer world. He learned many things from the team game. The cricket game has made him to understand so many concepts to become CEO. He has introduced a new concept in the Microsoft company, which is called as the collaborative method, collaborative knowledge, collaborative work, the culture of collaboration, collaborative culture in the Microsoft company when he becomes CEO, so that the Microsoft company is #1 in the world. It is because of he's a lifelong learner. So as a physical teacher and student, you must be learn and you continue to learn so that you can become a lifelong learner. Then pursuit of excellence. So as Aristotle says, we are what we repeatedly do excellence, therefore is not an act, but a habit. So excellence must be our habit. So just come and go, just sign and go is not our duty. We have to do both biologically and culturally from our potential. The excellence can become our habit, so that it can be a day-to-day activity. Excellence in everything. Though it is the 100% perfection is not possible in every aspect, but we can try for excellence. That is called the pursuit of excellence. It's a habit. This habit will be developed through the proposed curriculum. Then respect of diversity. India is a country of diversity. So an empathy and understanding other views and needs, as well as respect for their elders' opinion, race, religion, and also able to different culture and traditions. So we have to respect others. We have to understand from others' point of view, not only your point. You have to understand the others' point of view also, so that you can be a good physical education teacher. That understanding can be developed when you are respecting the diversity of our country. This curriculum will make you to understand and respect others. Sense of justice and equity. So you must have a sense to know what is correct, what is justice, and there must be equity. Say, for example, to be able to recognize social justice and act truthfully, to have a sense of fairness in life, especially in sports situation, is taught through this proposed syllabus. How? See an historical example. The Muhammad Ali, the Olympic gold medal won during the Rome Olympics 1960. He was happily received by the US government and all the spectators after he received gold from the Rome Olympics. But after some time, he was refused to serve in a hotel because of his color. Because of color, he was not allowed to eat in a hotel. So out of angry, he thrown his gold medal in the Ohio River. Whether it is true or not, whether the story is true or not, but the International Olympic Committee President, Juan Andros Samranch, presented Muhammad Ali with a replacement of gold medal in Atlanta 1996. This honor handed over him during the interval of basketball match, the basketball game. To add this, to show the sense of justice, the fairness, he was given the honor to light the Olympic flame in this Atlanta 1996. So that spirit is required in all aspects of sports. You must have the respect of all the human being, all the living things. You should not show differentiation because of color and creed and race and anything. So this is the right example how the sports is justice, give justice to every human being. Cooperation and teamwork. Ability to work effectively and respectfully with diverse teams, facilities, facilitate cooperative and coordinated effort on the part of a group and or a team in the interest of common cause and work efficiently as a player. So you must be a part of the team. You must involve yourself in the team work. Don't make yourself separate from the team. You must involve yourself as a team. So the cooperation in the teamwork is nowadays required, whether you are working in university or college or school. The cooperative culture, the cooperation is required. The collaboration is required. So the collaborative quality will be developed by quality physical education programs. So this learning outcomes, what are the learning outcomes focused from this LOCF? So when there is a teaching, when there is a new curriculum, that curriculum must measure the learning outcomes. So what are the learning outcomes they are going to measure from this curriculum? So there will be a relationship among philosophy, physical education, and education. So they must measure the concept of historical concept of the physical education. The student must understand the historical concept of physical education, and they must be able to relate the relationship between philosophy, physical education, and education. The curriculum will make the students to understand and select the inherited talent in each and every children. So as a physical education teacher, you must in the position to identify the talent of the children for various sporting activity, able to orient children in school with the fundamental skills, selected sports as per the inherited potential. So based on their talents, you can make them involved in different physical education activities and sports activities. This program is going to make the students able to devise training program for athletes engage in different activities. So the student himself able to design the training program, enable them to officiate, supervise various sports tournament and orient them to organize sports events at all levels. Take for example ISL. How many physical education professionals are involved in the organizing ISL or IPL tournament? So this curriculum will make them to understand the methods of officiating, organizing, and supervise the various levels of tournament, and make them enabled to be an entrepreneur to devise appropriate fitness program for different genders, different age groups, and different peoples. The important one, it will enable them to devise training program for physically challenged people. See the picture? This is one of the best devised equipment, weight training equipment for the people differentially abled by the physical qualities. Okay, this is one of the equipment that can be used for the peoples of differentially abled also. So this curriculum will make you to design and devise the training program and equipment for the disabled person also, physically challenged person also, the special peoples also. So the teaching learning of LOCF can be on through the lectures, seminars, tutorials, workshop, peer teaching learning, practicum, project-based learning, field-based learning, laboratory-based learning, and experience. There will be open-ended projects, games, technology-enabled learning, internship in industry, and research establishment. Not only industry, for physical education, our industries are schools and colleges, but also the research establishment. You will be attached to some of the labs in the national level labs, on some of the scientific labs, where you can test the our body reaction to the different forms of exercises. So that is a possibility by which we can develop the higher order thinking skill. So usually nowadays the education is focusing on the lower order thinking skills, but the new education will think on the higher order thinking skill. What are the higher order thinking skill? The creativity, ability to evaluate, ability to analyze things. What are all the lower order thinking skills? applying, understanding, and remembering. So these are the basic skills. You can get it from the school day experience itself. But when you are going for a physical education degree program, a teacher training program, you must develop the higher order of thinking skills, which includes analyzing capacity, evaluating capacity, and creating. So this curriculum will enable you to think in a higher order. What are the assessment methods proposed? The external and internal examination will be there. External examination is called as the end semester examination, and the internal examination will be called as seasonal test, which will be focused on 70 and 30 percentages. So in addition to that, it will insist on online coaching design. So it will give the students chance to use the online learning also. So the important 4 steps in the online learning are modeling online instructional practice. So as a professional in the physical education, you have to model the instructional methods in online teaching. The instructor and the student interaction, how you are going to instruct or interact with the student, whether one-way teaching or you are going to have question answer session, whether you are going to have feedback method, how you are going to interact with the students. Then transiting the pedagogical method and which method you are going to use. Then navigating instructional tools and technology. So in that way, online coaching is also going to be used by giving the DVDs and e-contents to the students. There will be emphasis to be laid on teaching learning process using online modes. So it is not due to COVID only. The modern days, we will be given online experience also, so that there will be some of the models by which you can have the online teaching as a compulsory one. Then initiating brain-based learning. So we are physically strong. So it will make you mentally strong also. There will be a stress-free environment in your classroom, in your department. There will be a constant feedback regarding the performance, and the learning aspects will be given to the student and teacher. The feedback, continuous feedback. There will be a feedback loop between the teacher and student. Regular and specific improvement points are used to close the learning gap, so that learning is informed. So learning must be informed. So if you are learning unnoticedly, it is not the base of the real learning. So your learning must be informed. Teaching is adapted based on students' response, so that teaching is responsive. So students are given information about their learning based on their capacity, based on their strength and weakness. You can modify and you can have new methodology of teaching. So the initiating brain-based learning also one of the important aspect of this proposed syllabus. So the cognitive functions also can be developed. Simulation laboratories. So all the physical education colleges and the Department of Physical Education must have simulation laboratories where the students can simulate. The artificial intelligence will be used to learn different skills, techniques, and tactics. So it is integrates the cognitive, technical, and behavioral skills into an environment where a learner believes setting is real. They can think that this is a real situation. Act, they would responding in the field. They must feel whether they are in the play field or in a computer room. They will make it feel that they are in the playground and feel safe. Safety also. You are kicking a ball, but the breaking the board is not simulation laboratory. Okay, safety of the student, the equipment also consider, and it will make the purpose of learning without mistakes, or it minimizing the mistakes. So it should be the simulation laboratory must be established in all the physical education institutions to give the simulation based learning, the artificial intelligence. Say for example, the football player is kicking to the goalkeeper. After kicking, it will give the evaluation whether what is the speed of the kick, what is the direction, whether the goalkeeper is able to save the ball, whether it is the as per the direction of your coach. What is the deviation? Everything, every data can give by the simulation equipment. So the simulation laboratory is going to be a part of the new department, especially under the dynamic leadership of our professor and head, Dr. S. Manigandan. We will have the simulation laboratory in our university soon. So the students of the Department of Physical Education, Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University, will be given exposure to the simulation laboratory in the days to come. So the curriculum is based on the core papers, discipline-specific elective, generic elective, skill enhancement, ability enhancement, and compulsory courses. It will be for 148 credits. There will be 14 core theory papers, and there will be 12 core practicals. And there will be 4 discipline-specific elective and 4 generic elective. What is discipline-specific elective? What is generic elective? The discipline-specific electives are directly related to our field, whereas generic electives are which is not directly related to our subject, but if the students learned that thing, he can become a whole personality. So in that concept, the generic elective also included in the curriculum. So the outcomes are divided into 3 areas. One is academic competency, personal and behavioral competency, social competencies. The courses are foundational course, skill-based course, discipline-specific course, generic elective, skill enhancement, ability enhancement course, and compulsory courses. Out of these types of courses, the students will get benefited in developing academic competency, personal and behavioral competency, social competency. What is academic competency? What are the areas the academic competencies are focused through this LOCF, Learning Outcome Based Curriculum Framework 2020-21, initiated by UGC, is focusing on disciplinary knowledge, whether he is having knowledge about the physical education, whether he is having knowledge about the sports education, then professional skills, whether the particular paper particular course enable him to develop professional skills, whether the application of skill to selected specialization, the particular choice, then experiential learning and critical learning, whether the particular paper given a chance to learn experientially, critically, then application to physical education related problems, knowledge of e-resource and social media, skills in scientific writing, effective presentation skills, critical evaluation of theoretical approaches, whether a particular paper, say for example, methods in physical education, anatomy and physiology, health education, whether that particular course focused on this 8 academic competency, that will be checked as a learning outcome. Then the personal and behavior competency. There will be 6 important personal and behavior competency. One is development and self-regulation skill. Social skills, empathy and accountability. So as a physical education student, you must have social skill. You must ready to help those who are require your help. Cultural and historical sensibility. Conversational competency and communication skill. Appreciating diverse perspectives. Ability to work in a group and team. Whether a particular paper helps you to work. By studying the sports sociology, you can develop social skills. By studying Olympic history, you can develop cultural habits and historical aspect of the Rome and Greek and other contributions towards the Olympic movement. Then outcome of social competency. Collaboration, cooperation, community skill. Understanding social dynamics, social problem. Gender sensitivity, awareness to gender fluidity issues. Ethical, social, ecological responsibility, moral, ethical awareness, multi-level commitment of health well-being. Nowadays, there is a new concept called as gender fluidity. What is gender fluidity? A person whose gender identity or gender expression is not fixed and shifts every time or depending on the situation. So as a teacher, you must understand there is a difficulty in understanding the gender. There is a gender fluidity. So understanding the gender fluidity of your student, you have to design your teaching method. You must be safe enough to teach and inculcate the cultural habits. So whether the particular course, the particular practicum social competency that can be assessed through this new proposed curriculum. For example, I am showing the mapping of the foundation course with academic competency. So what are the papers they are going to study is given here. History and foundation, basics of anatomy, exercise physiology, kinesiology, officiating 1, officiating 2, officiating 4, athletic and current rehabilitation. What are the academic competency focus? Say, for example, skill in scientific writing. It will be focused in the anatomy, physiology, exercise physiology.
Ma'am?
Jaykumar?
Ma'am, actually, sir, ஏதோ நெட்வொர்க் இஷ்யூ போலுக்கு.
ஆமாங்க சார்.
One second. திரும்ப ஆனா லைன்ல தான் இருக்காங்க.
ஆமாங்க சார்.
சார்?
ஹலோ சார்.
மேம் சாருக்கு கோகோஸ் கொடுங்க மேம், அப்பதான் அன்மியூட் பண்ண முடியும்.
கொடுத்தாச்சுங்க சார்.
ஓகே
ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே. The network issue. Okay. So the mapping of foundation course on the personal and behavioral competency. How the papers, each paper, say for example, self development and self regulation skills will be taught through sports psychology. Sports. What happened, ma? Screen shared.
So share again, sir.
Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
So the social skills can be taught through history and foundations of physical education. Then the appreciating diverse perspectives. So you have to appreciate the different qualities of different peoples. So in that way, you have to identify the quality. This is good quality. He's a good athlete. Whether he is studying sports coaching or physical education, Lily Madam used to appreciate all the athletes. So whether the particular course is appreciating the diverse people, diverse qualities. Say, for example, history and physical education. History and foundation of physical education is addressing the appreciating and diverse qualifications and the basics of anatomy also, right? So in that way, the ability to work in a group, the team, cooperation, in which paper they are learning cooperation by sports training, by learning fitness method, by learning the officiating and coaching. So the officiating and coaching, when they are learning officiating and coaching, how they will learn the team's cooperation. Say, for example, when they are learning the rules and regulations in athletics, the duties of officials in athletics, the first word in athletics rules is cooperate with others, cooperate with other official, in consultation with other official. So there is a teamwork in officiating. So in that way, the particular course is focusing on the ability to work on team, as a team. So this mapping will help you to understand what are the outcomes of each and every paper. Then social competencies. So academic competency, personal behavior. In addition to that, the particular paper must focus on the social competencies also. It must develop some of the social qualities. Say, for example, first one is collaboration and cooperation by learning health education, by learning officiating and coaching. Then multi-level communication by studying sports training, by studying health education, by studying athletic care and rehabilitation. So this mapping will help you to understand the purpose of each and every course, whether it's a practicals, whether it's a theory, whether it's a generic elective or discipline specific elective. You must be in a position to be able to understand the outcome of each and every courses. So the proposed course structure is based on learning outcome. The units proposed are 4 units in a particular course. Say, for example, the paper name is kinesiology and biomechanics. There will be 4 units. So the core consists of 4 units. There will be a teaching and learning strategy. Based on the concept, it will insist on the particular strategy, whether it can be taught in the classroom, whether it can be taught in the practical ground, whether it can be taught in the laboratory setting, whether it can be taught through the e-learning. So virtual instructional platform can also be used. Initiating brain-based learning activities also includes. Then it will say the assessment rubrics also. How you can analyze and assess the student, the particular course, the particular practical. What are the method to assess also clearly explained this new curriculum. Then generally, you can use the Bloom's taxonomy to evaluate the course outcome. So Bloom's taxonomy gives the 6 ways of measuring the outcomes. One is the remembering skills, understanding skills, application skills, analyzing skills, evaluating skills, and creating skills. So how we can analyze whether the outcome is based on these 6 skills? I have developed a small example. I will show that and I will conclude my speech now. Okay, for remembering skills, what is remembering? Retrieving, recalling, recognizing relevant knowledge from long-term memory. So students' activity, what? List the types of violations in basketball. List the types of outs in cricket. What type of question we can ask to check whether the student is having remembrance or not? This is a basic level. What, who, why, how much, what are the violations, what are the different fouls in the game of football or handball or etc. So it will test the remembering level of the students. Then understanding level of students. How the student is able to understand your course. It describes the traveling violation in basketball, a particular traveling violation. Describe no ball situation in cricket. So describe it, explain in your own words. So here the students can be given chance to write on their own, not repeating from the book. So remembering and understanding. So from their understanding point of view, they can explain. Give example for traveling violence in basketball. So graph and table. So from the students' understanding, they can explain this is a move, this is not a move, this is traveling, this is not a traveling. They can explain based on their understanding. Then application. Use of information to a skill. Say, for example, application of mechanical principle in your game of choice. What are the biomechanical principles involved in athletics, in sprinting, or in throwing a javelin? So application. That part they can measure by application skills. Then analyzing skills. The analyzing, evaluating, and creating are higher order skills. Whereas the previous 3 are the lower order. But when you are going for master's degree, MPhil program, PhD program, and other higher level of studies, you can use the analyzing method, evaluating method, and create method. Say, for example, contrast the effect of aerobic and anaerobic exercise and develop a conclusion. You can give the chance to the student to differentiate the effect of the aerobic and anaerobic exercises, the aerobic training and anaerobic training, and he can develop the conclusion. So this exercise is suitable for this kind of qualities. This exercise is primed for the particular development of particular quality. So here the analyzing capacity is developed. Then evaluation, evaluative technique. So ask a student to throw a javelin and ask the student to find out the mistakes. What are the positive points? What are the errors? So evaluation. So the method of evaluation is one of the quality required for a physical education teacher to identify their talents. So the talent identification is because of if you have the evaluation quality, then create. As a coach, as a physical teacher, you must be in a position to develop, create training schedule. So for a sprinter, you may give a different training schedule. So the creating quality also can be developed. So this focus or the syllabus, the method of teaching can be evaluated, can be assessed using the Bloom's taxonomy, which will be very useful for all the physical education students and all the education fields. Those who are in the education field can understand the method of teaching and its outcome. The purpose of teaching is to have a learning. So the learning should be measured. That is called as outcome. So the outcome can be scientifically measured using the Bloom's taxonomy. So the Bloom's taxonomy is accepted throughout the world as one of the best method to measure the outcomes. So the new curriculum framework. So the UGC has taken a new initiative to give the new curriculum for the BPS course. In the same way, I hope the Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University will take the responsibility in developing the new curriculum for BPEd and MPEd to match with the international standards and the national standards and the need of the students of the modern age. So with that, I thank the university authorities, mainly the Vice Chancellor Madam, the Registrar in charge Madam, the Registrar, then my dear friend and the head of the department, Professor Dr. S. Manikandan sir, for giving me a chance to be a part of this FDP program on the 6th of February, a memorable day in my life, as the chance is given to me as a part of the resourceful person among the other eminent personalities, including my teachers. So I remember all my teachers and their contribution on this occasion, and I thank them for their teaching, and I have learned many things from them. So I remember all my teacher and the blessings of my parent and support of my friends and professional colleagues and the students and the staff members of the Department of Physical Education from Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University. I want to thank them by name, Dr. S. Manikandan sir, the professor head, Dr. Kumar sir, Dr. Lily Pushpa madam, Dr. Rajesh Kumar sir, Dr. Jay Kumar sir, Dr. Vel Kumar, Dr. Lakshmanan, Dr. Rajesh, Dr. Jayachandran, Dr. Suresh, and all my lovable students of Department of Physical Education for their wonderful cooperation. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.